Just goes to show, never trust your bartender. We're back at the Kiev Major, and we are in our third and final draft between Team Random and OG. It's 1-1 if you're just joining us in the round of 16. The winner stays, the winner goes through to the quarterfinal. The loser is done and will go home in the bottom 8. All to play for as we head into this third draft.
We've got a change up on the bans. The Venge and the Bat Rider being taken out by OG this time. So, I mean, yeah, Faith Beyond had a pretty commanding performance on that last one, put a ton of pressure on the safe lane, giving a lot of information. And then the Venge ban, like we were kind of mentioning, that's, I think, just a really strong hero that Random's been playing their most out of any of their heroes.
Yeah. And a tree first pick from OG.
Yeah.
That's a hero that was ignored both games, I believe. So I think what this shows is that OG's like, oh, we're down a game. Now we're breaking out the strats.
Yeah, time to bring the A game. The one that they feel is their strongest.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing about single elimination is that, you know, when you get to this 1-1 phase, this is it. You know, there's a chance you might not continue on in the tournament if you're not going to be bringing out your best strat. So I'm wondering if we're going to see something from OG that's either very unique or something very solid that they've been, you know, very successful with in the past.
I think one approach that they're doing is that the last game, I felt like they kind of lost like all 3 of their lanes. I think the tree is one way to, he's like the lane dominator in a way, so I think that could be one approach. So they're like, man, our lanes got pressured so heavily by the way that Team Random kind of like counterpicked us that now we have a tree, now one lane, like a lane's going to be secured. And it also helps defend your buildings as well. With the living armor, we did see the objective taking really hurt versus OG the last game, the way that Team Random played it. They took all the tier 1s and then the map control was pretty much all in their favor, so. And they do go for grabbing an Alchemist in their first 2.
And the Nature's Prophet for Team Random. Very interesting picks. I thought actually the CM would have been picked here. She's obviously one of the ones we've seen a huge amount of success, many different teams here at this tournament, and completely ignored here in the first phase.
It's very unusual. CM is the most picked as well in the entire tournament.
OG's backs up against the wall. What did they pick?
Back to Alchemist.
It's going to be the Alchemist.
Yeah.
The special thing about OG's Alchemist is that Noto and Ana can both play it. So you can, even though they're picking it this early, they still have a lot of flexibility in their draft. That's something that a lot of teams don't have. Also, they're just incredible at both playing the hero and playing around it. On NP, we like to run Alchemist, so we would actually watch replays of OG, as I'm sure many other teams have. And something they would do is like, they would stack for Alchemist, but not only would they stack for him, you would have No-Tail come over on something like a Juggernaut and protect him while he was farming that stack. He would legitimately stand on a ramp, not hit anything for like a minute, and he's like, hey bro, Ana, farm this stack. You just stand there, you're like, patrol. It was...
Brotail.
Yeah,
that's why he's Brotail, man.
It was so good. But, yeah.
So cool. Why do you think that they drafted the Nature's Prophet into the tree? Do you think that there's any like specific reason that they would do it, or...?
Something about Treant is that if you don't finish the tower, he's going to heal up to full. I think Nature's Prophet's one of the better heroes, both at finishing tower and quickly breaking that tree armor so it doesn't heal too much.
Yep.
I think also, I'm not sure because that matchup, if I believe it's Fly who's going to play the Treant, I'm not sure yet. But I believe if you go Tranquil Blink, you're one of also the better heroes at catching this Nature's Prophet. So I hope to see that from the Treant. I think it's the one way that that matchup can swing into Tree's favor.
I haven't seen Random have that much Monkey King. I know they had it a couple of games in the group stages. They had, what, twice? And they did, I think, lost with both of them? No, they won one. Okay. And it actually was versus OG one of the times when they did draft the Monkey King when they won with it.
Something I'm sort of curious is that I believe OG banned the puck both games in the first phase, and now Team Random's banning it in the second phase.
Yes.
And they had the option to pick it, so...
That is true.
I mean, it's definitely one of those worrisome heroes. S4, phenomenal puck player. I don't know. I don't know what teams are seeing in that hero, but obviously OG was definitely afraid of Team Random and getting it, and I think Team Random likewise to give it to OG.
Yeah, I know the hero's good. I really like the hero. I personally thought he was going to become a first 2 at this tournament eventually, but to be honest, it didn't meet my expectations in group stage, so I was wrong on that one. But they picked Rubik, which shows... I think what Rubik generally gives you is he gives you like a kill threat on all lanes, just because he has a dispositioning spell. Is that the right word for disposition? Whatever. So he has a spell that will move your opponent, so you move them further away from the enemy TPs coming in and closer to your heroes. It makes a lot of heroes that could otherwise not be killable.
I kind of wanted to touch back on the puck a little bit. Do you think it's probably because they have like this tree and protector? They can do this like dual lane and they go for S4 with the puck and the tree in the off lane. It puts a lot of pressure onto the safe lane. I did see Wings even run like even like the puck lich and stuff in the offlane, so they just like to use that hero as like a kind of pressuring hero.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe they think if they have that tree and puck, as you said, and they're pressuring their safe lane a lot, then how are they going to deal with this Alchemist? They have to make a choice. Can we deal with this Alchemist, or are we going to protect our safe lane? And generally, when a team has to make that choice, they're already at like a strategical disadvantage because they're going to have to split the resources. It's very hard to not just overcommit to one thing. You have to find the right balance, and it's just a harder game to execute. And we all know in Dota, there's so many things going on. You want your ease of execution to be as low as possible.
Of course.
Okay, OG do pick up the CM. Are you surprised that wasn't banned in the second phase? Or is it just not worth the kind of ban compared to what they can get rid of?
CM, like I talked about Venge and Dazzle as heroes with teamfight invisible impact. CM's another hero like that. It's really hard to judge how much impact she has in her game just because she has like global aura. I mean, she also has, I think, 3 of the best other spells in the game. And she's only like bad because of her like base stats, sort of. Or that's her only weakness, I guess. But I mean, it's so hard to justify banning a CM when you have Alchemist. You want to ban these heroes like Morphling and Timbersaw, and then on the other side, they're scared of maybe OG putting a lot of pressure on their safe lane, so they want to ban heroes like Puck. So I don't know. It's a hard hero to ban.
Hard to spend the money.
Yep.
We're up to 101, by the way, in terms of pick and ban. The Bloodseeker was the one that we had as the extra ban.
wow.
It hadn't been banned at all yet, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a lot of heroes.
That is.
It is. It
I mean,
only
considering when
leaves
you're almost maxed out.
11 in captains.
They'll sneak attack, he's in there too. He'll break his way through the captain's world barrier. And then I'll quit Dota.
Please no. The Lina.
Burst for the Alchemist. I think that's pretty important to have.
Something that's interesting is Alchemist used to be one of the like better heroes versus Lina just in lane. Maybe not in the game because Lina had so much burst from him. But I wonder if because of the reduced acid spray, if Lina just dominates the lane now. Like the problem is Lina has like what, 1 armor? I think
it's
something
low.
really
It's
low,
one.
and the acid spray would do too much damage. You would have to like spend your mana to spam the lane back out, so you would never have kill potential on the Alchemist.
I really like the Lina too because they have like the threat. It's like if Alchemist comes up and he gets hit by Lina stun, the Monkey King can be around, the Furion can TP in quickly. They put a lot of pressure onto the Alchemist in the laning phase.
I mean,
Yeah,
that
that's a
kind
really
of
good point.
aspect.
yeah.
As far as going back to things you know you've been successful and you're confident in, Legion Commander for S4 and Alchemist are Naga in the game. This is OG style. I want to say that if they're able to collapse on the tower early, open up the map a bit, and then start getting picked with S4, I've never seen OG lose a game when they've done that. And they've done it a lot. That's a lot of wins on it.
Yeah.
So.
And it's Legion Commander, who's a super strong laner with a Tree and Protector. So we actually were kind of like joking in the other room. Tree Legion Commander is one of like the most devastating dual lanes, and they're versus a Monkey King Rubik. Rubik pretty weak in the laning phase. Monkey King, of course, if you go Jingu, he can be powerful, but not versus like Tree Legion. You can't really contest those two in the offlane.
Honestly terrified for Team Random right now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of carries that can stay down there, but also have the high impact you need when you have Nature Prophet, Lina as your other cores. I'm not sure what there is.
It's very curious to see how Team Random is also afraid of a Venomancer, of all things, coming up for OG.
Oh yeah, Venomancer Alchemist is a sick combo.
Very, very strong.
Not only that, they have enough physical damage from just the Alchemist and the Legion Commander. All they need is like something that when wins his lane can create pressure and can do AoE damage in a team fight.
And defend those tier 1s, like defending
Yeah,
towers
that's a good
with
point,
those. Yeah, because it looks like they've been, at least with the approach that they took the last game, wanting to take those objectives early on.
Can you imagine taking, like, look at their heroes. Their 3 middle heroes have some of the best outspam spells.
Yeah.
They have a Treant to heal it up. Can you imagine if you added a Venom in
on
there?
top. Yeah, it's like how do you really
man.
take any objectives versus that?
It's funny because I look at that lineup and I'm like, wow, they can be very defensive. And at the same time, I can see that same lineup be very, very aggressive and be able to take out a lot of different heroes.
I don't think they'll pick it, but I think OG should pick Enchantress Core. I don't think they'll pick it, though. I really do.
Wow.
Yeah. The Ursa ban, I like this. I think that was probably one of the few heroes that could actually do that. Very good versus the Alchemist, great versus Legion Commander in lane. I think that's probably one of the few that could have actually let Random have a decent safe lane. I think right now the safe lane is going to be very difficult for them.
I think you perfectly said it there. OG are thinking about how their offlaner can pressure. If they put Legion Commander down there, they want him to keep the supports down there. They don't want him to go to the Alchemist and like sort of mess up his game, mess up his stacks. They want to keep him there.
And they go for the so this could probably be an Alchemist safe lane then even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as carries go that are good against Furion, he's up there. You kill a Treant, you get a lot.
At the anti-mage.
Anti-mage, Nature's Prophet.
I mean,
that's a throwback.
I mean, you talk about pressuring a lane. This laning setup doesn't look particularly good, and I think we could definitely see possibly some very offensive stuff coming on the off lane with both the Legion Commander and Treant, maybe even Crystal Maiden.
I think they should put Anti-Mage mid this game and put the Lina in the tri lane. And like if Legion comes down there, they'll have very high kill potential.
I think
Anti-Mage doesn't do that bad against Ember mid.
I think that's a
actually
really
pretty
good solution, yeah.
Okay, prediction time. Conrad?
Just looking at OG's draft here, they look like they have the answer to almost anything this game. I like OG a lot.
Okay.
I've never bet against an OG Alchemist before.
So you're not about to start now, are you?
Yeah, I'm really not.
Right. Okay. Thanks, gents, for your predictions. Because there's no point in asking Fogged, right? Because production already know what Fogg's already picked, so it's easy. We will, of course, come back to our panel after the third and final game. Hold on to your seats. This could be a bumpy ride for both sets of fans. It's Random versus OG.
The Kiev Major is an important placeholder for many teams as it leads straight into the International. Both of these teams, the 3-times major winner OG, as well as the TI champs Wings, look to be able to secure enough of a placing here at Kiev to ensure their invite to TI. But one of them, Kevin, is going to be going home today. And it all comes down to this final draft. An Anti-Mage last pick for Team Random. You said the last time the Death Prophet was the winner for Team Random. Yeah. Are you feeling the same confidence from this last pick?
I'm not completely sure. It has some good things. There's some bad things. So obviously Alchemist can have a lot of mana pool. It's a great mana void target. He's great at split pushing. It's going to be difficult for OG to actually get across the map and do what they want to do. But on OG's side, they have a ridiculous amount of entangles, basically. They've got Crystal Maiden.
Yeah, they do.
They've got a tree. They've got an Ember Spirit. And they've also got Legion Commander duel. So there's a lot of ways to deal with the AM. I feel like if OG gets a little ahead in the early game, I feel like they can just pressure the crap out of the Anti-Mage for a long time.
What about the early part of our draft? We had the pickup of the Furion, I think was the most interesting because we had the Treant Protector, Monkey King, obvious trading, whatever was going to be first pick on one side, second on the other. But the Furion, second pick by Team Random, is definitely one of the more interesting pickups. What is the thought process, you think, behind grabbing this hero against OG?
I think it's something that EG ran earlier was Monkey King with Treant, or maybe not Monkey King with Treant, but basically they'll look around, they'll set up a kill, Treant can help out, or not Treant, Nature's Prophet can TP in, help out, get kills. He's also very good in the lane, which is, I think, another reason why OG opened with Crystal Maiden as their third pick. Very good at killing Treants in the early game. So I think it definitely has some good potential here, but Team Random, their split push is very good. Their split gank, sort of gank across the map thing is very good as well. So I don't know. We'll see how the lanes work out. Legion Commander, his lane is going to be what? Just typical off-lane stuff. It's going to be tough versus a Monkey King, Rubik, that's for sure.
Yeah, Monkey King is one of the... no, we're not saying one of. He is the best zoning support out there, right? Like Jingo Mastery, there's no offlaner that can really stand up to that one. So if he wants to, he can level that up, keep the Legion Commander zoned out, in which case the Treant Protector has to maybe offset that, and they do a dual offlane of some kind. Look at that. Faith Beyond. Yeah, cheeky with it.
Very wise to do this. So what it basically does is stacks up the waves so that when they actually do meet, they're going to end up pushing. And No-Tail's going to have to tank the creep wave under tower. And he actually doesn't have a Stout Shield just yet. He needs about 20 gold. So this could cost him a little bit of HP. But ultimately, he's just done for the purpose of getting himself gold. And yeah, he's just going to summon trees at the shrine in the meantime and guarantee some farm while he waits for the creeps to show up.
Awesome. I mean, we saw the same kind of level 1 play from him on the Bat Rider, right? Where he was able to pull one of those creep waves. It seems like Faith Beyond has a knack for being able to ensure himself that basic amount of farm in the first few minutes of the game. OG are still, they're trying to work around with this pull system here, see if they can actually get the creep wave to not push into Faith Beyond, but I highly doubt it will be successful. In the mid lane, we do have Anna facing up against Blink, Lina versus Ember Spirit, with some potential additional support from Jarex on the OG side, and then that roaming duo of Rubik and the Monkey King. Obviously, the Lina should have an advantage here against the Ember Spirit, not just because of the one-on-one matchup, but also I feel like you have better supports to roam around. Not sure if this Treant Protector can really roam on to mid all that effectively.
Yeah, he actually came out the worst possible timing there. He aggroed the creep wave, which means he needs to walk these to the mid lane now. I mean, it was his initial movement was mostly to sap the experience gain from Nature's Prophet on the Alpha Wolf camp, but slight mistake for him to show up there. Now he wastes a lot more of his time.
Look at Ice Ice playing around with the mischief. Legion Commander, I like what S4 is doing here. Manning up and is actually going to fight this Jingu Mastery. It is not that much lifesteal at level 1, and S4 does have a source of lifesteal of his own. Moment of courage, but maybe he stepped out a bit too far. Ooh. Shadow unable to finish him off, and they get another good round of nukes. S4 will pop that shrine, a very efficient use of it.
Yep, and that's basically the advantage that S4 has here, is that he's got a shrine in addition to his poor man's shield tango, and his base armor is a little bit higher than what a Monkey King's is anyway, so he actually does trade advantageously for, you know, it's about simple, it's about even at least. Jingu Mastery is always going to be great, but I'm glad they at least traded hits with Monkey King, better than doing nothing, because he's, either way, Monkey King would be able to sap experience most likely. Maybe not now because he doesn't have Tree Dance, but see how S4 reacts to this.
Jarek's setting up again, trying to catch Blink out of position here, but as we know,
yeah,
they do have that that ward was kind of set up.
Yeah, he figured it out. It's a little unfortunate for OG that they didn't get that the first pass in, but that's because the creep wave spotted him mostly. So Faith Beyond level 3 here in the off lane. Going to do his best to get experience, but Fly is nearby, ready to grab some free Treant kills if needed. Oh, he's in a lot of trouble, actually. He could take a lot of damage here.
Yeah, he's going to be forced to use the Frostbite to slow down Faith Beyond. That's the hard part. This Crystal Maiden really just cannot stand up to the Nature's Prophet. He can Frostbite one of the Treants and his free CS for him, but the other ones are just going to run at him, which means I don't think he'll really ever be able to get a successful wrap on Faith Beyond.
He did get the stack, though.
Additional subterfuge.
The stack will allow him to pull the creep wave back at least. S4 is not going to do as well this game for sure in the laning stage. Treant Protector, or Nature's Prophet, sorry, is one of the best for that just because the Treants do so much damage right now, hitting for 32.
I was about to say, even with this pull coming out, I think unless Jarek's is able to keep him zoned, Faith Beyond might be able to summon a fresh round of Treants and maybe claim some of these last hits. Oh, that's unfortunate. Help Air Smash actually catches Fly there. Takes some additional damage onto him. Jarek's is being forced back. This early damage to the Nature's Prophet with the Blightstone is actually doing a great job of threatening these supports, and let's see if he can use it to scare some of these last hits as well.
And the other issue is Fly's just out of regen already, and that's entirely because of the fact that Jarek's went for Orb of Venom first, going for a slightly more greedy item build. So that means that he has to make up for that by buying more support items on Fly, so he's got less regen, it runs out faster, and now he can't even feel comfortable walking towards Faith Beyond, who's got boots already. It's a bad spot to be in. Jarek's does hit level 2 though, which gives him Nature's Guise, which means he can actually initiate on the Nature's Prophet.
I like that Team Random putting a lot of presence here in this mid lane when it comes to wards. Really want to make sure that Lina has a successful 1v1 matchup. Ice, even though they lost their initial laning ward, replaces it with a higher up cliff ward that will still see those support rotations.
And bringing himself a salve, actually, at 4 minutes here. Probably just wants to save his bottle charges.
Oh, Faith Beyond, did he get a little bit too far out there? Looks like he could be right-click to death, one miss, but a swing from Jarek's will bring him low. First blood.
Really nicely done. Jarek's with the Quelling Blade as well. He's going to be cutting a lot of sprouts down this game, not to mention the Monkey King. This is like the most value Quelling game ever.
That was a double miss right there. Burnout, Ice is going to be forced back. They missed both their both the Tree Dance jump as well as the Lina LSA. So Anna getting away scot-free. And gets the rune as well, so it's actually in a pretty decent position despite that attempt at gank. He's sitting at a higher CS over Blink as well.
And No Tail's just about the most last hits on the game, 37. On the opposite side, Anti-Mage 41 and 13. So Anti-Mage pretty happy this game. And AM versus Legion, another pretty good matchup here for the AM, obviously, because he just basically is never going to have to worry about Legion having mana. With the Arcane Aura, at least S4 is going to be slightly relieved from that problem, but good luck getting 100 mana.
At the same time, though, right, the Legion Commander has a passive that she can use, so she'll still be able to kind of play out the lane and not be too terribly threatened by the AM, at least not until level 6, right?
That's true. Smoke is used by the 2 OG supports, so it eventually breaks. They were good at first. They passed the Monkey King in the jungle, but they kind of waited on their high ground looking for an opportunity. They didn't want to swing around because that's usually a very common place for a Monkey King to be, is sitting in the trees on the left. And
you see that? Faith Beyond has hit his level 6 before Anna's Ember Spirit has.
Wow.
So he actually got an ultimate out, knocked Anna down a little bit. Fortunately, did get another rune, so he'll be able to heal up. But they've got that big new, and that does a lot of damage now. You and I were actually talking about it when 7.0 first came in. The initial damage is less, but the bounces, they increase that percentage, right? And it does even more than it used to.
Yeah, 11 extra % per bounce. Pretty solid. Can make a big difference in these early ganks, especially because it's a little unpredictable sometimes for both players, the person using it and the person receiving. But there's just so much setup here to kill Ana, and if they can get the slow off, all right, that's going to be a good start. He doesn't have a quelling either.
Got the chains. Sprout leading into the LSA, an easy kill there. Ice drop it a bit low. Jarek's going to try and finish him off with the lead seed, slowing down Y. Instead, they get the nuke to finish him off from S4. Now it goes for the secondary support, but they're losing supports of their own. Fly's already down. Jarek's is gone. Fly is able to stay alive, but it's going to be S4 blocked out. Nice plays from Fate Beyond. Beautiful blocking. The Furion is working out beautifully here for Team Random.
Oh, it's just perfect timing on the Sprout. Right when he's about to go into a close-knit area, drops the Sprout so that it's very difficult to click on the correct tree as soon as you need to, and gets the perfect body blocks off afterwards. OG was, even if S4 got that kill, I still wasn't feeling very good about their trade there, but preventing the second kill as well, big advantage for Team Random in the first skirmish.
No Tail has already picked up his armlet though. Both him and the Animage are essentially getting free farm in their lanes. Both of them sitting above 60 CS in the first 8 minutes of the game. And that is the lovely thing about the Animage, right, is that you kind of feel okay pacing yourself against the Alchemist, right? It deals with that, you know, the pressure that you always talk about, like, oh god, the Alchemist is getting out of control. Animage is good with that, you know? He's going to hit his own time.
And I'm kind of thinking about late game, and OG doesn't even have the best Ags heroes. In fact, the best one on their team might be Tree.
Yeah.
Which, it's a very good Ags. It definitely changes the game a lot, but we'll see how much it'll matter. I think it could actually be really huge against Monkey King, actually, because it does give you flying vision, if I'm not mistaken. So they should be able to see where he's going if they're a little set up for it.
Yeah, and being able to get the entangle from it as well could play out against the Monkey King quite nicely. They are going to be able to do get the right click there on the tower. Jarek's is able to finish him off. I
don't know if they did this on purpose, but No Tail actually did a Fade Bolt on him. So he might have missed the last hit, but they just let the tree take it down. Biggest base damage, man. It's going in mid, going to pressure a little. This is with an Arcane Rune, so I think he might just be thinking about damage here.
He does have an Escape Remnant set up as Ice shows himself, so he's good to be able to get out. Jarek's will head out to the bottom lane now to claim his level 6 while the Legion Commander makes use of the offlane jungle.
And tower defense is definitely a big aspect of this game, really. Considering that Team Random is going to be able to split push so well with their very mobile heroes between the Prophet, the Monkey King, and the Anti-Mage, making sure that those are all full HP is instrumental to OG better being able to control against that.
Yeah, if we get a successful gank here, for example, from Y and Blink, this pickoff could lead into a Furion fast push, but instead they are not able to get the gank, but they are able to take some of the neutrals. Jarek's is here. He's going to be able to stop that TP. Blink is unable to get out fast, and now here comes the Ember Spirit. He sees a beautifully lined up kill. He's going to be able to catch Blink. Blink can't even finish off Jarek's in time, but the Faithful will get him. But they do get a duel immediately afterwards onto Y, so big wins there for OG as Team Random overextend themselves.
That was actually so unlucky for Team Random, though. By the time they go to the high ground, they see that Legion is there. He actually used overwhelming odds previously to nuke the stacked camp, and as a result, he was really fast and was able to run away. Without that, they might have just killed him right off the bat, bursted him down, and started TPs before OG could respond. So a little bit of luck there going in OG's favor.
Sprout out. No Tail in some serious trouble here, but it looks like the living armor plus the armlet is going to be enough to protect him.
He quelling the wrong tree. I was a little worried for him there. Seems to be a reoccurring situation. He's going to Shrine here. Get his HP back up and hit up the jungle.
Oh, man, he's closing in on that relic fast.
Yeah. I mean, he's got almost as many last hits as the aim. He's only 3 behind. That's incredible, actually. Safe lane out, because that's the solution. Don't let him get pressured. Just give him a really safe tri-lane. Low chance of dying.
And Team Random haven't taken a tower yet. Not even close. So it's not even like they're getting any map control during this timing where the Alchemist is trying to finish up his Radiance. Kind of feeling like this, they're just not really hitting their timings, you know? They've got the Lina, they've got the Furion. We talked about how they could bring these heroes in, get kills, turn it into a tower push real quickly with the Treants. It's not even like Treant Protector can actually protect the tower against that many sources of damage, really. But they just are not connecting with the ganks.
Yeah, they have to get the kills first before they can take buildings. So Prophet's going to be great at hitting towers, but only if OG's not around, especially the heroes he has to worry about is maybe a Blink Dagger Legion or Ember Spirit or a tree setting up the initiation. Innocence did grab Fire Remnant and Leaf, so he's going to be able to initiate, but I think he's going to get caught here maybe.
Y, he's already dead in the mid lane. Innocence, Y is able to get himself away. Immediate TPs from the Treant Protector. Actually canceling that one out. It looks like the telekinesis from Y is able to put a stop to that one. Jarek's runs his way along the trees. Should be good. Breaking trees. Why? You gonna be able to? Oh, he revealed him again. Can they actually kill him in this short window? Looks like they should be able to. They've got the burst damage. And they stole living armor. That is a big win. Excellent plays. Why?
Yeah, pressured them just hard enough, and while they were attempting that, they also brought out a dust. Nobody on Team Random there had any detection, so if Jarex actually just stayed in Viz, bought himself a little bit more time, and then got back to the main tree clumps, he would have been all right. But a little bit too pressured. The pressure was on, and he got scared and lost his Nature's guys.
I was kind of wondering, like, why the Rubik? I didn't really feel super good about it, but I guess if you take that living armor, it sort of offsets this very unique advantage that the Treant Protector gives you. Now both sides are going to have this healing mechanism for the towers.
Yeah, it's definitely going to pay off here, but towers aren't that low at the moment, so he will definitely upset some chip damage for sure, but may not be the perfect solution. If anything, it's going to matter more in little ganks that happen. So OG's a little damage weak right now. Crystal Maiden's pretty heavily into Aura, for example. Treant Protector doesn't output that much damage. It could actually turn some ganks here.
Push coming out in the bottom lane while Ana goes toe-to-toe with the Anti-Mage.
Just trying to slow things down a little bit. They do see the Treants. Maybe. But Nature's Prophet actually TP'd all the way back. And he actually sidestepped from the Bracer into the Midas, and now we'll go back for the Drone, which I think is the right move. Like you said, their tempo feels different. It feels off, not necessarily what they want. So prioritizing the damage or the farm items a little bit more than the team fight gank items. And he's actually going for the damage perk. I've seen a lot of Prophets go health recently. So maybe we'll see some big damage from Nature's Prophet in the mid game.
Battle Fury now complete for the Anti-Mage at the same time as the Radiance is picked up for No Tail. And with that Radiance, I don't think there's too many ways for Team Random to be able to fight this. So it looks like this too could just be safe lane towers being traded off, or maybe not even traded off, because they're taking this bottom tower so quickly, they can actually get up to top and stop Shadow from taking that tier 1 there. They're
doing a great job delaying this with living armor, though. This is the second living armor, this one going with the glyph, so that probably bought them at least 6 to 8 seconds, which is huge here. No Tail doesn't have a TP, though. One thing he's lacking, which means he can't go to defend top, but will OG go there to defend, or maybe they'll think about rotating into mid to pressure? The Treants will spot them out. They do catch an Observer Ward as well. They're scanning up, thinking about going. Yeah, I think they're just going to let top go. It's a little too dangerous for them to show up late.
Which means Team Random, if they want to be able to protect their mid, are going to have to move pretty quickly here. They want to be set up before OG is already on top of the tower. They've got a nice little ward here to the side. Beginning to wrap around. S4 is real close to his Blink Dagger too after them taking that tower.
He does get Chemical Rage on Rubik, which will help him stay alive, but OG's going to play it safe here. They've got really good ways to keep whoever is initiated on saved. Press the attack, living armor will be great. But they're going to go back to playing a little standard. I think this is the right move. By killing 2 of their opponent's towers, they've opened up the jungle a lot, which means that they can very likely use their amazing catch against Anti-Mage to possibly get some kills right now. So I think maybe they should move into the enemy jungle. They've got tons of sentries. They've got Observer Wards down. That's what they should be looking for.
Lina with fresh Fuel Scepter tries to catch Ana. Nice dodge using the Sleight of Fist, though.
That was really dangerous, actually. If they caught him, very high chance he dies there. Because it will remove Flame Guard. That's 500 less magic damage you have to do. So BOT's first for him. So this is all going to be about Treant Protector looking for kills, or Legion Commander looking for kills, and backup coming from maybe Alchemist plus Ember Spirit. I think that's the goal here for OG.
Yeah, Legion Commander especially is a great setup, right? Because it's such a long duration hold that the Ember Spirit timing of the Boots of Travel won't be that bad.
Yeah, it's going to be so easy to combo too. 4 seconds of duel, followed up by Frostbite or Searing Chains, or get 2 of those together and it'll make a big impact. So they're going to start pushing out the lane. Jarex is going to be the one to do so. And all of a sudden, everybody on OG group into the mid lane. Looking smoke-like to me. Yeah, Crystal Maiden's holding one. I don't think the Observer Ward spotted them all being there either.
So No Tail will be the one to push it out, while the 3-man crew smokes up and looks for their first reveal of the Blink Dagger on S4.
Oh, this is so greedy, but awesome. Like, it's just so obvious. No Tail's baiting, clearly. They're not even close. They're looking for kills in the jungle where they think somebody might be jungling, like a AM or something. Doesn't work out, though. They do get spotted by random.
They're going to to try and save this mid tower. They throw out another acid spray. NMH is in the neighborhood. He's farming nearby, so he can really be there if a fight does break out. Doesn't look like OG are going to force it, though.
Yeah, and Prophet uses his ultimate as well, probably to push out lanes. They didn't feel ready to deal with that. But that was a lot of free damage, really, considering that the Alk was solo.
He can catch Jarex here. He's actually got a dust, and he does a lot of damage. Phase boots, doesn't actually have the Blightstone out there. Jarex uses the ultimate to try and TP away, but gets stopped by Ice Ice with the Boundless Strike.
He just needs 3 more seconds. It's really close, but
it's just not gonna last long enough. But maybe Ana can actually take something out of this one. He actually bursts down the tree, so Ice Ice was stunned up for a while. Won't be able to lifesteal enough. The Furion dies as well, and that's really all that Jarex needed. Didn't need to survive, just buy enough time to be able to kill those 2 other heroes. Get some rebuttal. Mid lane, there's a rebuttal for you. Blink takes the life of the Crystal Maiden.
Definitely a solid kill, but the fact that Ana as well as the Alchemist were able to get there in time is really valuable. Dead Nature's Prophet, that guy farms really fast. And a dead Monkey King, no one's scouting, no one's setting up pushes, no one's split pushing. OG gets to prepped for the push mid once again, and I imagine OG may do a mass TP there. No, they're just going to play a little safe. No need to go out of control here.
Yeah, OG have just played this, I would say, pretty slow, just because of the fact they don't need to like really push these towers, right? And it's an opportunity you take if you can get it. But as it is, they're pretty happy with the way they're farming on the Alchemist and the Ember Spirit.
It's got Chemical Rage again, but the tower's getting real low.
Gonna use the glyph, buy some time. The NMH is pushing out bottom lane right now.
There.
He's beginning to wrap around, but Team Random just not feeling comfortable with taking a fight.
They did bring a lot of heroes to that, so kind of a big loss, really. The Lina looked like she wanted to swing around, but it was just a couple seconds too late. Too much damage being done there. And Jarex sitting by the last tree remaining here. Oh, this could be huge. They
Blink
get the stun.
Gets caught by the bash. Now Ana's going to be able to follow that one up. Blink has the Eula Scepter, but there's really not much he can do to stop this one. Now Ice Ice has been found by S4 as well. He managed to Quelling Blade down the tree, gets the duel. An additional kill for OG. They tie up the score 8-8 with the net worth and the experience. At least the net worth, anyway, does seem to be in favor of the Alchemist team. Kind of surprised,
but not by much.
So heavily, yeah, it's like the gold is not that much in the favor of the Alchemist team, and the experience is in the favor of Team Random. I'm a little bit surprised they've been playing this more efficiently than OG has, considering their boots of travels.
Yeah, I think they're just spread out across the map a little bit better. OG's spent a lot of effort either trying to set up ganks or to cover Alchemist and Ember. Like, Ember's just barely ahead of what the Lina is at, for example. And I feel like Legion Commander's not the fastest farmer either, especially because he's been looking for a lot of kill setups. I think OG's definitely on the right trajectory, but Random's doing a great job keeping up with the farm.
The Manta's up. Is this one of those go times? Kind of like when you pick up the Alchemist Radiance and you take a tower. Do you think they want to use this NMH aggressively, or is Team Random still okay with just kind of biding their time?
I thought you were talking about the Alch. They both just got Manta, actually.
Oh, well.
And that's the hard part, right? Even if they can catch the Alchemist, he's now got a way to remove a more simple disable. Yeah. Not that there's very many of them. It's basically all just nukes, but the bigger thing is they're going to be able to scout opponents with the illusions. He's going to be able to split push lanes. It kind of just offsets a lot of what the Prophet provides. Jarex thinking about landing a stun of Faith Beyond, but he's got to wait for more to get there. Maybe
Jump
not.
Forward now with the Blink Dagger, but they do have the setup. Nice. Double Boundless Strike. They're going to be able to follow that out with the Monkey King ultimate. Telekinesis into the Alchemist. Now the Eula Scepter. He's going to come back down and
Manta.
stun himself, but nice use of the Manta. Animate jumps forward, pops the Manta in himself in order to get rid of that disable from the chains. Monkey King still scouting out some of these heroes. S4 is on top of Y, but Shadow's there to be able to protect his supports. Now the jump in from Ice Ice in the back line. Immediately jumps back into the trees, but they caught Shadow. They did manage to get that dual damage too right before the Laguna Blade came in. Shadow is a big time kill, and now OG can try and run over the rest of Team Random, pushing into that tier 2 tower.
That was a very dangerous fight for OG. Who knew that the Manta was most needed against No-Tail's own stun? Because if he would have gotten stunned by that, that fight might have just been lost by OG. That would have been like a 4-second stun on himself within Monkey King ultimate. That would have been really bad for OG, but dodges the stun. They're able to work around fights just long enough to finally get the good duel off and enough damage to kill the Shadow on the anti-mage. That was a big fight for OG.
Tier 2 down. Octarine closing in for No-Tail. That is the completion of the rat build. So you can spam out those Manta Radiance illusions. Just go to town, farming the whole entire map. Now, fortunately, Team Random do have a lot of mobility themselves to match the Boots of Travel pickups of OG, so they've got the Animage moving all over the map, dealing with these split pushes, the Furion able to TP wherever they want, and then they've got this kind of like 3-man kill squad between the Monkey, Rubik, and the Lina. But we really haven't seen much of this Lina so far.
Yeah, I mean, he's gone for some Eul's combos, but the times that they did happen, OG was able to avoid them, which is definitely huge. Why? Very likely to die here, unless they're aiming for Shadow instead. He's got Manta, so he can get out of it. But
first in snare, Fly, ready to follow that one up. Shadow very carefully holding onto his Manta until the follow-up is there. Didn't quite get there. Why? Does manage to get the telekinesis onto No-Tail, slowing him down just a little bit. Gets a little bit of unstable concoction action there as well, but Blink, he's been caught. That's even worse. They lose a core. Can they get an extra one? Fate Beyond can't even get the TP out. Slowed down by Anna. Duel to follow that one up. Did they notice Ice Ice? They did with a slight. He's now has to jump himself away. Might not be able to escape, but OG, they say no sense in chasing a Monkey King. Let's just take another tier 2.
This is looking so good for OG now. The fact that they win another big team fight, and they had Anti-Mage retreating to the left. That was the best part about it, because they pressured the AM. The AM runs left, and they engaged on heroes on the right. AM's not there when the actual big part of the fight actually started. So no 5v5 there for Random, and they get wiped again. 3 dead heroes.
Animage actually has so much like limited map to be able to farm away, because these tier 1s are still up, right? So he can't go for these deep split pushes like we normally like to do. They have also lost a lot of towers and a lot of ground, a lot of aggressive vision down there from OG. So this AM is kind of feeling scared and not really comfortable with the amount of space he has. He's getting very claustrophobic.
Yeah, not to mention Alchemist is always pushing the lanes in. And there's so many hero counters that if he gets overgrowth, he's disabled for a long time. The Manta is obviously a huge help, but he still has to play safe. Like, you saw how long Fly waited. That's the right move, but it's so dangerous. So if they catch the right one, or if they land you with a stun right after you Manta, oh, they do kill Anna finally.
And it goes down. S4 also going to be a little bit caught here. Ice Ice throws out his ultimate. Doesn't want a chance getting dueled and dying to S4. So that was a little bit of extra insurance. Now with Fate Beyond here with the Deso damage, just not nearly enough to get that extra kill. So still, killing Anna, big time win. What can Team Random really do with that, though? That's what I'm seeing is like OG, they lose a hero sometimes, but it's not like Team Random can really claim much. All it does is just buy Shadow more time to farm. And
it feels like you have to kill both of them. You have to kill the Alchemist and you have to kill the Ember Spirit, because both of these guys can move around split pushing very fast. Yeah. Obviously, No-Tail a little stronger at it, but definitely both a threat. And in the meantime, look at this. Faith Beyond, tons of farm, but he's also at threat of being killed. Any of these guys can TP. TP on Alchemist could come at the creep wave. Ember is probably the one they want, though. He's way more mobile, and he's got a Blink Dagger. Here comes.
To travel up to the top lane. Jerix begins to try and slow down Faith Beyond. There goes the Sprout out. Jerix threatening the ultimate, but Anna's here now. They don't manage to get the chains. Now the follow-up ultimate will be able to stop that TP out from Faith Beyond. And all that gold is just kind of being fed right back into the OG members.
This is Truant used to perfection, basically. Scout things out, get the follow-up. It really works well. Oh, the blink on No-Tail.
Picked up by No-Tail, results in an easy kill on the Lina. 50 seconds there. That's got to be a Roshan.
And that is not an expected item for Alk, but amazing usage there. There's a lot of heroes that are actually really easy to kill if you get on top of them, stunned, and right-click away. When the Blink lets you do that, it's also going to max out his item build faster, which probably means it's Axe time pretty soon. I feel like he's even going to give the Aegis to Ember Spirit most likely. I just don't feel like killing Alk is very possible right now.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to drop his items either. All these are great.
Anna can just be super aggressive when they do go for that high ground, trying to get a backline kill, like the Lina, for example. Yeah, so he grabs the Aegis, picks up a regen rune for his troubles as well. Got plenty of initiation, plenty of kill power. And Team Random are struggling when it comes to the damage and control department. Like, they might be able to blow up like one hero, but I'm struggling to see how this Animage can really win out a big team fight against OG.
It's one of the big negatives of Nature's Prophet is what happened last time he died. Just very easy to get killed.
Oh, a miss from the Boundless Strike. A nice blink back there from S4. Now the rest of OG are all here. They can pop the Manta. Do manage to jump himself away. Ice Ice. Oh,
they got him.
No! He jumps over to grab Shadow, and in the process knocks down the tree. The dual win against Shadow is the big time kill, though. He's down for 70 seconds, and S4 up to 58 dual victory damage now. This is going to be a third core when we start pushing this to late game, if we even get there.
And he's not farming that amazingly, but that's because he's spending a lot of time going for setups like this, and 58 dual damage really pays off heavily. They didn't even try to catch the Monkey King in that last fight, by the way. That was full accident.
Yeah, he was just like throwing out that remnant and just happened to chop down the tree.
They just have so many good ways to deal with the random heroes. And at this point, Nature's Prophet just doesn't feel useful either. He gets killed by almost anything. The Ultra Mobility of OG, the Blink on Ember, the Blink on Alchemist, the initiations from the Trio Protector. It's difficult for them to stabilize. They do spot Monkey King on the backline, though. Oh, they miss the Syrian, though.
No. Ice Edge jumps forward. Still, though, that tier 3 is at half health, and they cannot afford a buyback on the enemy. It just can't work. He's going to be too slowed down on his farm. So, No Tail sees the opportunity to jump forward, does manage to catch Fly. Monkey King lays out his ultimate, but Fly's immediately going to address him with an ultimate of his own. Lays out the freezing field, and they do manage to get the duel in there as well. 3 more seconds till the Animage is back up. OG may not be able to claim this melee Rax, but they are going to try. 3 versus 5. Team Random, can they possibly be able to put a stop to this one? Shadow going to get bashed up by Jarek, slowed down. LSA, complete whiff there. Jarek gets a really good ultimate in the back lines. Blink going to be target here as Anna jumps forward, managed to finish him off. Almost Yule Scepter protected for a time being, but Blink still goes down. Shadow has to blink backwards. A buyback now from the Fury on Faith Beyond, trying desperately to put a stop to this push on the melee racks, but now Shadow's been caught, held in. Blink forward once again by No Tail. They're trying to get Shadow, but he blinks away. He does manage to get back to the mountain, heals himself up, but that space does create enough time for them to be able to take that melee Rax and might even be able to get the range. Monkey King looks for some sort of extra pick off. The OG members retreat. Faith Beyond, he is going to be able to get a sprout onto Jarex.
He's got to get out of here. He's got the gem. He's really fast now, though.
He's got the movement speed to get out.
Yeah, he does. He's got the gold perk as well. Level 15 on him. And how much money does Alk have? Is that where the party comes? There's a point booster queued up. It's Ag's time. Who's going to get it? It's got to be.
It's got to be Tree.
It's got to be Tree. Legion Commander is one of those Ags that seems.
Whoa, Ice, what you doing here, buddy? Challenges Anna, runs in a Fly, as well as S4 in the process.
Huh. All right.
Well, this is the moment desperation really starts kicking in, right? Team Random feel like they need to do something because the inevitable endgame scenario of OG is coming in fast. And mistakes are bound to happen.
It's ready to go. Let's see where the trees go first. It looks like Roche will be the first one they put down, perhaps. He's making a decision on it. Where do I want to see for a very long time? And the fact that they're ahead with this as well is just amazing, because if you're behind, your opponents can afford a gem, lots of wards. It can be a little tough sometimes to get the perfect impact, but dropping the tree in a position like this, look how common that spot is moved. Anytime they farm Ancients, anytime they walk from mid to go to the medium camps, they're going to see it coming.
Blink, managed to get the unstable concoction. Nice Manta dodge there from Shadow. Oh, S4 almost got the duel there. Might still be able to get it, or at least the ensnare. Maybe Anna got him right before the blink. Now a bash on S4 stops the duel for a moment, but it is a momentary respite. That is all. Animage still goes down, completes his Vanguard before he dies, but that is still 70 seconds of no defense from Team Random. Another tier 2 sure to fall.
Jarek's continuing to put free wards all over the map. As long as he keeps these away from towers, I don't even know if Random's going to know where they are. They're going to have to get detection of their own, but they just don't have the money to get the gem right now. They can't spot the Treant. They can't even push out the lanes super successfully. The only time Faith Beyond's out this far is because all of the OG heroes just showed top and got kill.
This Blink Dagger has been super successful from No Tail. I like the way that OG are playing this one out with the double bots and double blinks.
Yeah, I liked it on both heroes. Anna especially has set a little bit earlier pressure on the map, but No Tails as well. Didn't see it coming, gets a big kill on Alina, and all of a sudden it just felt like Random is shut down. They can't get a grasp of this. They were the underdog coming into this, but they took it so close here, and they can still win this. They just have to get a good team fight. Low mana, maybe?
Tail stunned up by his own stable concoction. Nice Manta out of the Sprout, though. A quick retreat out of the Monkey King ultimate, and he will survive. That would have been such a big kill. Now they just kind of have to wait for this Monkey King ultimate. No tail, unstable concoction queued up. Fuel Scepter to dodge, but Faithbeyond's still going to be caught in the process, and it looks like Blink can't manage to make it out. LSA hits on 2, but now Duel on a Shadow. They can't afford to lose their Animage. What a beautiful boundless strike, and a telekinesis follow-up. They're actually stunning all these heroes. They need the big ultimate to finish this one up, and in the back, Fly's dead. Here comes the ultimate. It's not enough to finish off Anna. Shadow didn't have that much mana, burns in out now. Shadow's going to be caught. He doesn't have to blink away. He's dead. 80 seconds. No buybacks coming up from Team Random. There is no way that Blink can do enough damage, can he? It's not. GG is called.
5 dead heroes. OG just wins it. It looked so close at the end. That unstable concoction from Innocent stunned 4 heroes with the Boundless Strike. But they needed a big mana void right there, and they just couldn't get it off.
Team Random kept the series competitive, managing to take that game 2, but OG, they turn up the heat with a classic OG Alchemist. One fell swoop, it seemed. I mean, they just like, it was the Blink Dagger pickup, they would kill the Lina, it was the use of Anna's Ember Spear. There's so many things that OG did to just shut down all the early game of Team Random and maintain the advantage for a very easy game.
And I feel like a lot of that was the fact that Alchemist was nerfed to a place where they didn't feel like they had to just open with it. They actually got to draft a lineup that really fit well with Alchemist. They got to put it in the safe lane, they got to protect it with a Crystal Maiden and a tree while making other things happen on the map. He got his items at the exact moments he wanted to. He died 0 times that game. Like, No Tail's performance in that match was amazing. A little bit of flavor at the blink, and it made a huge difference in closing the game out.
Seeing this kind of performance against Team Random, definitely a respectable opponent. Do you think that OG are getting back into like a top tier form? You know, a kind of form that can win this champion?
I think so. I mean, game 1, they had the perfect pick. They played it extremely well. Game 2, they got outdrafted, but it still was very competitive despite that. And game 3 looked like just about perfection. Saw very few mistakes out of OG. I could see them going most of the way, if not all the way.
Green Dream is building up steam. I'm sure many teams are looking at this and beginning to think about how they beat this team that just always seems to be in top tier performance. That said, Team Random, they did make the series competitive. They did take game 2, and they were looking pretty lackluster before. At least we've seen some signs. You know, they kind of look like a shadow of their former selves. You know, the TI champs, they look so good. And then the rest of this year has been kind of looking off for them. But you can kind of see some glimmers, right?
I think they have some good potential, absolutely.
All right, well, that's going to be it for this series. The panel has a lot to talk about for that Game 3, a very dominant victory for OG.
Yes, we do indeed. OG, the champions of the Boston Major, the reigning champions of the Majors, continue on the road here in Kiev. They move on to the quarterfinals at the expense of the TI6 champions. We'll break it down with our 3 members on the panel right now. Conrad, we'll start with you. Another impressive performance from OG. It seems, as long as they don't pick Arc Warden, they're brilliant.
I mean, I think their Alchemist is the reason why they, that is the hero that works for them. They had it on Anna previously in the earlier in this tournament, and No Tail really shined with this hero throughout this game.
Yeah, 10-0-10, 1020 GPM. Curtis, pretty decent figures.
It was amazing. The thing about the Alchemist that was the most impressive is what we usually see is Alchemist will get his items, he'll just keep farming. But OG were so good at using it to fight. They were fighting at like, say, 20 minutes, I think. And then he would get super farmed, and then as his 6th item, he got a Blink Dagger. And that item purchase tells me that he told his team, hey, it's time to go into aggressive. Yep. And they completely turned that game around. It was even before that, and then they just started crushing.
A great support as well in the lane. Perfect with the tree and the CM.
Yeah, it works really well with the tree and CM. I'm glad you mentioned the tree as well. I really like the way that they really secured the Alchemist. Like, we actually expected them to do like the Tree Legion Commander and put some pressure on the anti-mage, but they really wanted to make sure that No Tail, because this team knows how to play Alchemist. They're probably the best Alchemist team. They understand exactly the timings, so they secure his lane. Not only that, the Tree allows them to defend their towers really well. We kind of touched on it a little bit during the draft, but we look, and I think only like 1 or 2 towers were taken. One objective, 1 tower was taken by Team Random, so they did a really good job of defending those. And when you're an anti-mage and your farm is limited to only your side of the map in a way, it puts a lot of pressure onto you. You can't really like accelerate so much more.
Was this a dominant performance? Because the graphs suggest it, and the scoreline suggests it, and everything else points to it. But it still felt like Random were competitive in the game, didn't it?
To be honest, when Anti-Mage got his Battlefree, he was only 2k behind Alchemist. From that position, generally, that means Anti-Mage is in the lead. I think that Team Random played a very good early game. Unfortunately, OG's mid game with this Alchemist hero was just way too strong.
Yeah, I really like their itemization too. I was like watching it with you guys, and I saw Anna pick up the Blink Dagger with the bots. He's one of those players that does like to do that. He goes for the bots, skips like the Veil and Blade Mail, like you were telling me, Curtis. And I thought he made great use of that. Like they already know they have the Alchemist right here, as we're seeing from No-Tail, and he was always joining the fights, like always being involved. With Jerax giving the vision as the Treant, walking around like looking for the Nature's Prophet, bots in, get like pickoffs all over the place, and Alchemist can just keep doing the Alchemist things.
Absolutely no doubt whatsoever that this is the MVP. You were unanimous when we came back into the studio, all three of you. No hesitation whatsoever.
I mean, scoreline says it all. 10-0-10. He played that hero phenomenally. He got the exact item timings, like Curtis mentioned, that he needed. And I think he kind of led his team to victory in that one.
Important, isn't it, when you have players like that who are willing to step up and maybe not play it exactly the same way as everyone else plays it, but actually be a bit more aggressive. You mentioned the Blink Dagger meant that they could be a bit more fighty.
Yeah, as soon as he got it, I think, was it Lina he killed mid?
Yep.
They killed Lina,
right
they got Roshan. That's already a huge swing in game, killing the enemy solo mid. Not only that, but I want to mention, we saw his build up there. Most Alchemists at level 10, they go for that 20 damage from what I've seen. But No-Tail knew that he wasn't going to get this armor item as 6th item. So he was already planning for this aggressive mid game when he opted for that 4 armor. That way he can skip the AC or the Shivas, just get this blink and go. So cool. So much foresight.
Yeah, very good from OG. Let's talk about Random. They finished bottom again. 9th to 16th here at the major. 2nd consecutive major and the 4th consecutive tournament that they've done it at. If you exclude Genting, which was the only one where they've managed to finish top 4. It's been a very disappointing run for who are a world-class team. How do they bounce back from this and get their heads right for TI? Regardless of whether they qualify or whether they're given an invite?
I mean, it's one of those things where this team is, obviously, we saw in these drafts alone, very creative, very forward-thinking on how the meta goes. I think you sit back, you start watching the rest of these games, you learn from how 7.05 is going to develop, and when you go into either those qualifiers or these future tournaments, really look at those things and start developing what you think is best and just become, like I said, these are 5 really good players, and they can do that.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let's catch up with one of our winners now. It is a man who's used to winning as well. It is S4, who's with Shiva.
Yes, thank you. Here with S4 from OG. S4, first of all, congratulations on winning that series. That was a very close series.
Yeah, it was really fun to play.
Now, second game, Arc Warden. You tried it in the group stages. It didn't work out then. What did you think was going to be the magical reason that it would work in game 2?
I can't talk too much about what we wanted to do, but what I saw lost us game 2 was the Brewmaster. They completely countered the Brewmaster and the split. So I'd say that's a bigger reason than the Arc Warden.
Okay, fair enough. Now drafting against Team Random always seems a little bit crazy, and you seem to kind of Team Random. How did you prepare for the series?
Oh yeah, we always try to prepare the day before we play, and preparing for this team is the hardest team of them all because you don't know what they're going to open. First game they open CM Night Stalker. We can never predict that, you know. They always have some strat going into a game. So what we prepared was our own. Like we look at our own heroes, and then we just talk about them, you know, like why is this good and stuff, and then we try to go draft on the fly what we see, you know. It's better than just trying to predict, you know. It's too much against this team.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now that first game you played Enigma, you played an amazing Enigma actually. When you play Enigma, how do you deal with the pressure of landing good black holes?
Well, I think my team they don't pressure me that much in the game, so that can help. If my teammates will be like, oh, you have the black hole, you know, or something like that, then you're gonna get bad black holes, because then I feel pressured. But when I play, they try to, like, they go in and then they set up like this, they clump up, and then like I can go, so I don't feel the pressure to go right away, you know. I don't need to initiate, I can just go in and after 10 seconds, you know. But for sure there is a lot of pressure when you play Enigma, I agree, and Magnus, of course.
And that as well. And we saw your camera when you landed a black hole in that first game. Smile across your face. Do you have, like, once you land a good black hole, is it a yes feeling as it looked like?
That black hole was special because we were losing the fight really bad, and I think in our mind we were like, this fight is not going well. But getting that black hole, getting the kill on, I don't remember who it was, Alk or something, that kind of turned the fight and made it good. So we were like, oh shit, surprised, you know.
Yeah, it was a great series. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me, and good luck, of course, in your next series tomorrow. And it's back to the panel.